Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome once again to the free Shiksha IELTS classes, which we are going to conduct in today's webinar. And from July onwards, we are taking the classes to 2 times per week. That means we'll be having the class twice in a week. Okay, just for your information. Hello everyone, a very good evening. I can see messages coming up on the comment section. That's lovely. Welcome, all of you. And in this month of July, let me remind all of you, we will be starting with our assessment sessions. That means I will be taking 2 classes per module and I will be discussing all the questions, all the assessment questions, sample questions and answers, along with the responses and answers. I will be showing you how to answer each and every question in each and every module. So today we are starting with the speaking module first. I know it is quite easy to manage speaking, okay, for some of the candidates, but I'm sure for most of the candidates, confidence, hesitation, and a lot of other things are coming as confusion factors, or maybe, factors in which candidates are really lacking in. So today I'm going to show you how to answer part 1 and part 2 also. So I'll be covering up in today's session part 1, which is general questions about the candidate, which is your part 1 of IELTS speaking module. And then I'll be covering up part 2, which is your cue cards. Okay. So in my previous videos, in my previous free Shiksha IELTS classes in the month of June, I had covered up all the topics in details. Now this particular month will be dedicated solely to only the assessment question and answers. So yes, if you have missed out on our detailed, you know, videos of each and every module where I covered up all the questions separately in the month of June. So in case you have missed out that, that's not an issue at all. Don't worry about it. These classes are for free, first of all. You do not have to pay anything. It's free of cost. And of course, you can watch all the videos which are recorded and pasted for all of you free of cost on our YouTube channel. Okay, so all you have to do is you just have to register with the link which is given in the description below. So in case you are not able to find the link for joining the sessions, that's not an issue. I will also share it in the end of the class, in the comment section itself. So just try to find out in the description, a link is given to you in the blue color. You just have to click on it to join the sessions which we are holding on the day Tuesday and Thursday for now. These are the 2 fixed days on which we are having these classes in the month of July. And also I will be giving you some time in the end of the class to ask me any doubts and questions. So if you have any queries, please save it for later on purpose. Please save it for the end of the class, because if I'll start taking your queries in between, definitely that would break the flow and nobody would want that, right? So let me quickly start with the today's class. Let me show you some sample questions as well as their answers. So you will get an idea how to answer part 1 and part 2 of the Speaking IELTS module. Alright, let's start with today's class. So first I'm going to throw some light on part 1, which is general questions about the candidate. So let me see what all topics do I have for you in collection. So first I have taken topic people you study and work with. Okay, so this is the first topic which I'm going to cover up. Now I have copy pasted here three questions for you. Okay, I have written 3 questions and then I'll be showing you the answers as well. So here in the next slide, you can see the answers. So let's start reading one by one. And then if you'll have any doubt related to today's class, you can write down your query and comment on the comment section in the end of the class. So please wait patiently for all your opportunities and chances to ask questions. And please focus on the slides which I'm going to show you now. So first question I'm going to take up is this. Who do you spend most time studying or working with? Now this is a kind of general question which is being asked to the IELTS candidate, and you have to give the reason why as well. Okay. So the answer which the candidate has given, a sample answer as an example, is as a university student, I have a couple of classmates who are also my friends, with whom I spend a considerable amount of time studying or discussing different topics related to our studies or assignments. If I have to single out a person among them, I would say I spend the most time with Jessica, who is a very close friend of mine and a very brilliant student. Now, guys, always remember that there is no right or wrong answer in your speaking IELTS or writing IELTS. I have seen many candidates asking me the correct answer to some particular random question. So let me tell you whatever sample questions I am going to show you today in these slides. These are all sample question and answers, and every candidate would have a different answer, right? So please do not think that is it the correct or wrong answer. Of course, I'm showing you all, absolutely correct answers, but the thing is your answer might differ the way you give it in the IELTS speaking exam of yours. So these sample answers are here, for your help. I am going to show you all these question and answers along with the responses because I want you to learn that how you should actually answer in part one. So in my previous videos, when I was discussing part one in detail of the speaking module, that time also I told you how to make notes in the cue cards as well, part two. And in part one, I told you specifically that you have to give the answers in, crisp and short manner, but short doesn't mean that you have to give the answer in one word or one phrase. It should be in around, 3 to 4 medium length sentences. So this is how you are going to frame your answer in an organized manner. So you can see here as a first example question which I took. This one you can see that there are a lot of good words also which have been used, and the vocabulary or the phrases or the sentence structure, if I talk about grammar, then of course everything is in place. And as I told you in my previous videos, when we were discussing the marking criteria of part 1, I told you that you will be marked on four basic parameters. And those were fluency, coherence, your lexical resource, which is your vocabulary and grammar, right? And even pronunciation, all four of them. So, yes, the way you speak, the kind of words you use, the kind of sentences you make, the structure which you follow, or the organization of your ideas, everything will be taken into consideration while you are being marked in your IELTS speaking exam. So, yes, please be very much concentrated on today's class and every class which we are going to take, because I am going to show you how to answer each and every question. So this was the first answer. Now let's read the other answers as well. So second question is, what kinds of things do you study, work on with other people, and why? So answer is, my major is business studies. So many times, candidates or students tend to reply their subjects as or their streams as major. So major means something in which they are pursuing, something which they are pursuing. For example, what are they studying or what are they learning? So my major is business studies. Major is a good word to be used for pursue. And I often find myself studying or discussing accounting, banking, technology, finance, management, and computer applications, related topics or assignments with the people I study with. If we have important assignments, which are quite frequent, we also discuss how we can approach and prepare to get a good grade. Okay, so you can see the candidate is not just responding to the question, he or she can also add one or two general ideas related to the question. For example, the last sentence, if we focus on this, we also discuss how we can approach and prepare to get a good grade. This wasn't being asked, right? This was not asked in the question. We could have just finished here, which are quite frequent. We could have finished our sentence here. But the person also said, if we have important assignments, which are quite frequent, we also discuss how we can approach or prepare to get a good grade. So you can see that you can add some of the additional information in front of the examiner just to elaborate your answer in case you're lacking ideas, or you just to show your vocabulary or grammar, you can add one or two extra points or extra ideas of yours apart from the question. But yes, that should not be deviating from the question. That should be related somehow to the question which is being asked. Okay. Now, third question asks, are there times when you study or work better by yourself? Why or why not? So you have to give reasons in whatever you say. Now, the answer is, I think most of us would agree that group studies are better for understanding comparatively complex topics, and it also helps us share our ideas. However, there are some instances, at least this is what my experience has taught me, when we tend to do better if we study all by ourselves. For instance, if I need to write an essay, read a chapter of a book that requires utmost attention, solve a math problem, or to do some online research for a small project, I prefer working alone to being in a group of several people. I would like to share my ideas or get reviews on the work I do in such situations. But when it comes to jotting down my thoughts or thinking with rapt attention, I think working solo is sometimes the best option. So you can see here how the candidate has responded really very well to this particular question, because he has really compared both the things, that how working by yourself can be beneficial sometimes, but yes, working in a team or in a group together can also be beneficial in most of the instances, right? And then he has given an example for instance. So you can see that how you should actually respond to these kind of questions, because these kind of questions can be tricky. The answer can be related to just one idea, but it depends on you, it depends on the IELTS candidate, how he or she is actually organizing the ideas in one particular answer, right? So this is the move which we should follow. Now I'll also show you more questions related to another topic. So the next topic for part 1, general questions, which I have taken for all of you, is flowers and plants. So let's discuss few of the questions from this topic as well. So let's come to this slide. First question related to this topic, flowers and plants, are, do you have a favorite flower or plant? Why or why not? Answer is, I love flowers, and dahlia is my favorite flower. Perhaps because of their astonishing beauty and incredible colors, this flower comes in a variety of colors. Perhaps all the colors in a rainbow, and they are absolutely delightful to look at. My grandfather was an avid fan of this flower, and we had different dahlia in our garden. So you can see here that how the answer has been formulated for all of you. You can also note down some words which are really good here, which has been used by the sample answer candidate. For example, if I take one of the words here, astonishing, right? That means surprising or shocking. So astonishing is one of the good words which has been used here. Then if we look at incredible, it's also a good word to be used. Then perhaps is a linking word. Perhaps, however, moreover, furthermore. These are some of the words which you can use, which you already use in your writing task 2 essay writing, right? And I'll also give you some words and phrases when we'll complete the writing assessment papers as well. I'll show you some sample question and answers, and I'll give you a set of vocabulary words which you can use in your writing. So, sorry. So in the same way, you can use these, perhaps or furthermore, these kind of cohesive devices or cohesive linking words in your speaking as well, because that will just increase your score from 5 or 6 to 7 and 8 if you're using them correctly. Let's look at quickly another set of questions as well for part 1. So second question for this topic, flowers and plants, are, what kinds of flowers and plants grow near where you live, and why or why not? So answer is, our country is home to millions of plants and thousands of flowers. Rose, dahlia, tulip, lotus, daisy, bellflower, sunflower, marigold, calendula, lily, camellia, and jasmine are some of the most common and beautiful flowers that could be found in and around the area where I live. Among the plants, I can recall royal palm, rose apple, Indian shorts, and many other decorative and flower plants in the gardens. So you can see that how widely, how in the form of examples or variety of names of the flowers and plants have been given by the IELTS candidate. So this is, how much detailed you will have to be in giving answers, especially in part three. So later on in the coming days of July month, we will be discussing the answers to part 3 as well. Right now we are covering up part 1 and 2. Okay. Next question is it important to you to have flowers and plants in your home? Why or why not? So answer is I am not a passionate gardener like my grandfather, but still I believe that a house without some plants and flowers looks empty. And, and yes, having plants, both flowers and other kinds, is an absolute necessity not only for aesthetic reasons but also for environmental reasons. So you can see the both the benefits have been given by the candidate for the aesthetic reason as well and for the environmental reasons as well. So this is how varied and this is how diversified you need to be in your answer, just to show the examiner that you know a lot of ideas and just to express your vocabulary and grammar in the form of sentences. So now we are going to look at few question sample answers for part 2. This was part 1. Let me show you for part 2 as well, which is cue cards. So in the cue card, basically you will be given one topic, then 1 minute is given to you for preparation, and 2 minutes are given to you for speaking on that particular topic. So first topic which I'm going to take today is I have taken four topics for part two cue cards, and all the four are quite diversified. That means quite different in nature. So let's start with the first one, which is describe a picture or photograph in your family. And you should say these are the bullet points which you have to include in your answer. So, first is what is in the photo, second, where this photo is in your home, and third is how this picture was taken. So, these are the three bullet points. Now, let's look at the sample answer. As I am interested in photography, I have taken thousands of photos. However, the most meaningful photograph to me is the big family portrait that is hung on the wall of my living room. And it is the first thing that everyone notices the moment they walk into my house. Okay, this is how the candidate has started giving the answer or starting formulating the cue card. So the photograph was taken 1 year ago on a summer holiday. It was the first time that my family enjoyed the summer vacation together. We decided to go on a trip to Samson Beach, which is one of the most popular destinations for a summer holiday in my country. The photo was probably the first picture of my whole family, my parents, my older brother, my little sister, and me. It is such a brilliant photo with everyone standing on the beach and smiling. A professional photographer captured this moment, and his absolutely brilliant skills show in the picture. You can even see the crystal clear water sparkling under the sunlight and the seashore in the background. It was a scorching hot day, and the sky was blue with no clouds, making it a perfect scene to take a photo. The photo is very special to me. Whenever I feel unhappy, just looking at the picture cheers me up right away. I believe that no matter what happens, my parents and my siblings will always stand by me and support me. So you can see how beautifully the whole cue card has been answered, and how smartly and intelligently all the bullet points have been covered, as well as you are also allowed to mix and match your answers. That means you're allowed to add the details by yourself until unless it is related to the cue card, that is the topic which has been given to you. So the moment you deviate, that moment itself your bands keep on decreasing. So the moment you just deviate from the topic or you're not saying something related to the topic, then that is the point where that disinterests the examiner. So you need to have clear idea, clear picture about your answer, how you're going to formulate it, and how you are going to organize your answer. So you can see here how in this cue card answer as well, however, And there are many other words like probably, or you can see here, yeah, it was the first time that my family enjoyed. So many of the phrases and many of the words like crystal clear. So this is again a idiomatic phrase, right? Then phrasal verbs and all of these are allowed to be used. But yes, if you are really comfortable with them, if you really know how what is the usage of them and what is their meaning, then only use them. Otherwise, I would suggest all of you, all of the IELTS candidates, to stick by some simple language and go along with the simple language. But yes, if you want to use some good word, a good set of vocabulary phrases and words, then you should be familiar with them. If you are not familiar with them, then I would not advise any of you to use any of the words. Okay, so for that you need a lot of practice. Now if we look at the vocabulary set of these words which have been used in the previous answer, you can see here I have highlighted few words for you from this particular answer. So for example, portrait, it's a painting, drawing, engraving of a person, right? We know that. Then I have also cited an example for you how to use this particular word portrait in a sentence. If you look at the second good word which has been used, that is destination. We know the meaning, the place to where a person is going or being sent to. Absolutely crystal clear, scorching, enlarged, gloomy, priceless. So these are few of the words which I have taken from the answer, and just to show you that this is what a good vocabulary set of words look like. So these are the words which the examiner will be focusing on. Okay, so try to use more of uncommon words and try to use less of common words. Now let's look at another sample answer, which is the next topic. Describe a story or a novel that was particularly interesting to you. So what you have to add in your answer is you have to you should say what the story or novel is about, what it is about, and what is the story, why you find it interesting. So let's see how the candidate has answered this particular question. I would like to talk about my favorite classic novel called The Godfather, which is written by a well known Italian author, Mario Puzo. So yes, once you get such kind of topics to answer in front of the examiner in your IELTS speaking test, you should be aware of few books, your favorites, your dislikes or your likes. You should be well practiced before you sit for your IELTS speaking test, because in speaking exam nothing major or difficult will be asked to you. It will be very much general, related to you. But yes, you should be aware of few things which can be asked to you in the exam. For example, your favorite book, or the place where you like to go, or your favorite destination, your favorite flower, plant, tree, or favorite moment, and your favorite song, and then favorite movie or series, sports. So all of these should be prepared beforehand before you sit for your exam, because then it becomes very easy for you to write down your bullet points or your vocabulary just in that 1 minute of preparation, and then you can speak in a flow. There will be no breakage of flow, or there will be no breakage of the speaking test. So, for example, The Godfather is the topic here for the novel which has been talked about by one of the IELTS candidates. So, you should know the author's name, you should know the plot, you should know about the book a little bit so that you can speak on it. For example, if you talk about your favorite book, so you should know something about one book at least, right? So, that is why I tell the candidates to prepare themselves before they go for the speaking test. All right. So next sentence is I came across this novel when I was trying to find a dictionary at a bookstore. So yeah, it was a situation. It was published in hardcover version, and there was a colorful illustration on the front which caught my eye. At first, although I was not much impressed by the novel's preview, I still bought it and started to read the story right after getting home. Surprisingly, the more I read The Godfather, the more it appealed to me. So, this novel told the story of an Italian imaginary character named Vito Corleone, who was a mafia boss in America after World War One. What attracted me in the story was the way the author described Vito's tricks and to survive in a chaotic society. Thanks to this novel, I learned a lot about the course of American history in that lawless period. After finishing this book, I read some more novels by Mario Puzo, and they were all fascinating. I realize that reading books is a good way to gain knowledge. Therefore, everyone should get into the habit of reading. So you can see how well, with all ease, the answer has been highlighted with the last sentence. So you can see how, in a general way, they are suggesting to read books because it's good for your knowledge. It's good to increase or enhance your vocabulary. So yes, they have given one of the benefits also of reading. So along with the story, how well he has, in a short summary described about the whole book, about that imaginary character, and then the more characters or the more books he read about from Mario Puzo, the more he got interested. So this is the way you have to plan your answer in that 1 minute which you get, of course. So now I'm going to show you some vocabulary words which are here in front of you. So classic was one of the words which was used in the passage before. Then come across, hardcover, caught my eye. Caught my eye is an idiom, so you are allowed to use idioms. But again, as I suggested, you are only allowed to do that, and you should only do that if you are really comfortable with using idioms and other phrases or phrasal verbs. Then right after or appeal to, chaotic, lawless, fascinating, get into the habit of. So these are few of the idioms and phrases which were used. Now I'll show you something very different. So the next topic is related to science and technology. So describe an area of science that interests you. Okay, this is the another topic which I have taken for you. So let's read the answer to this question. Back in school, I preferred other subjects more than science until I reached the 10th standard. So, this was the time when the subject began intriguing me with its in depth knowledge. Out of all the three branches, I was more inclined towards chemistry. In chemicals, varying elements and reactions fascinated me to no extent. On top of that, the way our chemistry teacher, Mr. Singh, taught all the concepts made the subject even more hooking and effortless. So, our teachers helped us grasp shortcuts and tricks to learn the periodic table in sequence. And then I also learned the use of several chemical components in industries, such as sodium, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, and more. I started becoming more interested in chemistry the moment I realized that we somehow use all of these concepts in our daily lives. For instance, to make scrumptious dishes, we mix an array of ingredients in measured proportions. This is a type of chemistry only. So, moreover, every medical drug is a composition of several chemical components, whether in a solid form or a liquid form. Chemistry has also helped me in a variety of ways. To begin with, it has helped me to choose a stream for my career. The interesting concepts have ignited a feeling in me to become a scientist. Thus, I'm going to pursue this subject in higher studies as well. So, again, a very beautiful answer starting from the situation where chemistry got into his nerves and, where he was not at all interested in it. But again, as he grew up and he's telling about his chemistry subject, that how it became his favorite and how his teachers, especially Mr. Singh, taught him and made it easy for the students to learn chemistry and especially the periodic table in sequence. So yes, you can see here that the answer has been very well formulated, and after talking about chemistry a little bit, he has also linked it up with the daily versions of the chemicals. For example, when we cook food, he has mentioned it here in the answer. It's all chemistry, right? And when we take medicines, what is there in the medicines? It's all chemistry. So he has given several examples which are relatable to the examiner, and of course he will get a good band because this is how he has made his answer look organized. Because he has also, if you see the bullet points, the question had asked what is it, what it is, what you learned from it, when you became interested in it, and explain how this area of science helps you. So of course, all these points have been covered in the answer. So you have to make sure whenever you get any cue card in front of you in the speaking exam, then you have to write down the bullet points at least to remember when you speak, right? And try to cover up all the bullet points within those 2 minutes of speaking. And also while practicing, try to record your voice or try to put a stopwatch and see if you are able to complete the whole cue card along with all the bullet points in your uh, you know voice recorder. Just check later on, listen to your own voice and see what kind of mistakes are you making. Are you using a lot of fillers or what? Are you able to complete all the cue card bullet points in those 2 minutes? And how well you can prepare, in that 1 minute. So I have also told you in my previous videos in the month of June when we covered, you can please go and rewatch those videos from our YouTube channel with the same name, Shiksha Study Abroad. So all the links, all the videos have been uploaded there. So in one of the videos, I also told you how to make notes, especially in the cue card section, because this is where most of the candidates fail or get confused. Because cue card is something which really confuses and triggers the candidate. You have only 1 minute to prepare. So how to write those bullet points, how to write those short words and phrases, everything has been explained in that video. So please do go and watch it because that will help you to finalize your bullet points which you're actually about to say in your answer. So the last cue card for the day, the last one I have taken from another field, which is describe a free time activity that you like doing in your free time. Okay, or talk about your favorite free time activity. The question can come up in any way. You should say what you do, where you do it, when you do it, who you do it with, and explain why you like to do this activity. So let's see what is the answer from the sample IELTS candidate. So you could say, I'm a workaholic. I am so much into my tasks on a daily basis that I almost have no time to free myself. But when I spare time, reading is definitely my favorite thing to do when it comes to choosing an activity to relax after work. So there is a small range of things I normally try to do to wind down, but reading books is one of my favorites. As my tasks frequently make my mind stressed, books should be the best therapy for me to escape from all the work stuff. I possibly, if possibly, I would like to enjoy the evening in a cozy and peaceful ambience with soothing music, warm lights, a soft sofa, and a tasty cup of tea. Then I will put my feet up and lay on the sofa, digging into the story until it reaches 11 p.m. On cold days, there will also be a blanket for me. I find it therapeutic and relaxing when I spend a little time on my own to nurture my soul with amazing and attractive adventures from books. In short, reading books is my choice, which helps me get away from all the pressures and have a more balanced life. Now, let's look at the vocabulary words which I had used in the previous answer on a daily basis. This is a good phrase to start your answer with. Wind down, that means to start running or operating slower. Then therapy, again, dig into, that means to plunge the hands or mind into something. That means get, into something. That means get into reading, for example, in the previous answer. Then therapeutic, that means of or relating to the healing of disease, a therapy. Then get away from, that means escape. So you can see that how escape has been said as get away from. That means the meaning is same, escape, but they have used get away from. This is how you have to enhance your vocabulary. That means you have to focus on the words which are less common, uncommon, and then only the examiner will give you a good band, of course, relating to your vocabulary part. And in the same way, you will have to focus on your grammar, your pronunciation, and the fluency so that your answer does not break in between. All right, guys. So this was all from my side relating to part one and part two. So today we covered up the assessment practice questions along with their answers for part one, general questions, and part two, cue cards. Now I give you some time for your doubt clearing session. So during this session, if you are, a regular candidate in my class, then you must be knowing that I give you some time in the end of the class to ask questions. So now is the time to ask your questions. And yes, please comment your queries one by one on the comment section, and I'll try to take all of them. If not all, then they will be answered anyhow, even after the live class. Do not worry. So later on, also, if you come up with any question, they will be answered as soon as possible. So somebody is saying, hello, thanks Shiksha Study Abroad for making this valuable session. Well, welcome. And this is all for you guys, free of cost. And I can see a lot of people coming up from different countries, not just cities or places, but countries altogether. So that is really encouraging for all of us as a team, as well as for you as well, because there will be a lot of kind of questions coming up from different levels and different places and people. So let's see if we can answer all of them here today in the live class. If not, whatever kind of questions or whatever number of questions I'll be taking up in the live class, you have around 10 to 12 minutes right now to ask me questions. And in case I wind up at 6 p.m. and then you're not able to get your answer in the live class, do not worry. I'll be typing down the answers one by one for all of you. So whatever questions will be left, they will be answered later on. Okay. So yes, I am going to now copy paste the link. Okay. So this link I'm going to just copy paste here on the comment section. Just give me a moment. Till then, please keep on typing your queries so that I can answer them one by one. So yes, I can see a lot of questions. So one of the questions is this only, that please tell me where we can download the sample papers and all. So you can download it here on the comment section. I have pasted the link. If you were not able to find the link in the description, then no worries. In the description, there is a link to join all the sessions, and the link which I have given you, it's the same link, and it will directly take you to our page where you can download the sample papers from. You can download them for free. There is no charge. And in case you feel that some of your friends or family members need some lessons for free, they can also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe with us, so that you do not miss out on any videos in the future. And yes, there are many sample papers which you can download for free. You can also get in touch with our counselors, which are there to help you to know about any exam. Okay, any exam query if you have. Okay, so somebody is asking what is the recommended time to complete the cue card? It is 2 minutes. So 2 minutes is given to you. That is the maximum which the examiner gives you. And within those 2 minutes, you have to complete your cue card. That is why practice is very much necessary, so that you're able to complete and cover up all the bullet points. Next question is, for a working person, shall we speak in terms of our work involved rather than about study? Uh, for a working person, shall we speak in terms of our work? I am assuming that you meant to ask, should we speak in a formal tone or informal tone? If that is the question which you are pointing at, then the answer is that you should be in semi-formal conversation with the examiner. That means even if you're speaking informally, which you should do in between just to lighten up the conversation with the examiner, but yes, there is a limit to make jokes or make fun of something, or to be informal or use slangs. There is a limit or boundary to everything. So yes, you should be in a semi-formal kind of conversation. That means you should not be very much informal and you should not be very much formal. So you should be somewhere in between. I hope that answers your question. Next question is, you have given example of speaking on favorite book. Do we have choices on the topic? No, you do not have any choice in the IELTS speaking exam. That means that whatever questions are being asked to you or whatever cue card has been given to you once, you have to speak on that particular topic. You cannot choose from any of the options. There is no option given to you. Okay, so that is why just be sure that you practice well enough so that you cover up most of the points, most of the topics in your practice session, and you have a lot of ideas in your mind. So till the exam day, you will, if you have read many sample answers, you will have a lot of ideas about different topics, and that will help you to formulate any answer on any given topic. So yes, in short, the answer to this question is that there is no option given to you. Okay, next is, thank you very much. Well said from Saudi Arabia. First time to attend. Well, thank you so much. I am very much glad that you liked the session. Okay, next question. Okay, it's a comment. So thank you, Shiksha, for this opportunity and thank you for the presentation. I am wondering during exam if you will be able to remember all the examples like names of flowers as listed. Well, you do not have to learn by heart. You do not have to do the rote learning here. Rote learning means you do not have to learn each and every word and phrase which I'm showing you. It's just for your help. Anyway, in the main day of the exam of speaking, you have to formulate the answer by yourself. These answers are just for your help so that you pick up few words which are good or which you feel are comfortable you're using with. So those words you can pick up, or the way the answer has been given, you can learn those techniques from these answers, but you do not have to copy paste or learn anything from these answers word by word. That's not necessary, okay? Next is, the questions you showed in the session are the standard questions, can be asked in IELTS oral speaking exam. Yes, they might be asked, but these are just sample or example questions. Okay? These, it's not necessary or mandatory that they will be asked. They might be asked, but this is just to show you that this is how the part 1 and part 2 looks like. Questions might be different. Is there reading sample questions for downloading? What about correction? Well, we have not started any class yet for now that we correct your writings or readings by ourselves. We have not started on that yet, but yes, you can always come back here in the live video or any video which you watch, and then you can comment down your queries and questions, and all the questions will be answered. Do not worry about that. And yes, we are going to discuss the reading sample question and answers also in the coming weeks. So please look at our IELTS calendar, which will be very soon on our page by tomorrow itself. So you can have an idea what are we going to cover in each day. So you can join the live classes accordingly. That IELTS calendar will also be on the same page. And where do you have to go and how will you go on that page? That is, you have to click on the link which I just copy pasted on the comment section. And also you can join the sessions by clicking on the link which is given in the description also below. So you can use any of the links. Any other question, guys, from the today's class or any other class which you have watched before in the month of June? So in case, as I said, if your questions have not been answered, then they will be answered as soon as possible. If not live, then one by one I'll answer it. Is there any interactive practices wherein our answers can be corrected? Well, for now, there is no such activity going on with the Shiksha team, but we'll try to, put the suggestion forward to our team so that we can work on it later on in future. But right now, I'm really sorry we do not have any such facility where we can provide trainers to you, although we are trying to help you as much as we can, with the help of these or with the medium of this free Shiksha class which we are providing you. So this is all we are starting with right now. But yes, in the future, maybe we will uh, on this kind of scheme as well. So this type of training sessions as well or classes as well. All right, I can see a lot of people commenting and interacting with each other. That's also a very good sign, a healthy sign of serious IELTS learners. So yes, one thing more, these slides are not enough if you are not practicing by yourself. So as I said, speaking is something for which you need a trainer, of course, and writing also, so that somebody can correct you. Now, for now, you can practice by yourself by looking at the mirror. That is one of the best activities which I tell the candidates every time. So you can look at the mirror and practice by yourself. You can try recording your voice the way it will be recorded in your exam session, right? And please do not forget to join our sessions which we are doing bi-weekly, that means twice in a week. So the days which we have decided for these free Shiksha classes in the month of July is Tuesday and Thursday for now. If there is any change, it will be conveyed to you through mails or messages or mailers, whatever. And yes, please do try to join us because we are going to cover up a lot of questions in future in the month of July itself. I am going to show you a lot of questions, assessment papers, and sample question along with the answers so that you have an idea how to answer each and every question. So today we have completed we have covered part 1 and part 2 of speaking, and tomorrow we are going to focus on one of the topics of writing, most probably task 1. So yes, guys, that was all from my side. Um Okay, somebody is saying, I know it may be covered in your previous classes yet. I want to know how to organize idea to speak instantly after I get the question in part 1. Yes, so definitely this video which I showed you today, this particular PPT or slide, this will really help you. And in case if you have missed out part 1 in detail, part 2 and part 3 of speaking in detail in the month of June I covered up. So we have those videos also, and those videos you can find on this particular YouTube channel, Shiksha Study Abroad. So there we have uploaded all the topics regarding all the modules: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Okay, so from there you can go and re-watch those videos. It will really help you to how to make notes, how to formulate the answer, what are the tips and strategies for each and every part. I have given all the details there. So please do go and re-watch it. If you have not watched it, then definitely you are missing a lot. So do watch our videos which have been uploaded in the month of June. All right, guys, so that was all from my side. I'll see you on Thursday at the same time, Indian timings, 5 to 6 p.m. Till then, keep revising and take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon on Thursday. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us. This is for everyone. Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Take care.